Welcome to Attenmore. It has been 2 weeks since we last convened, with unfortunate wind damage shutting us down last week. But when we left off the week before, we are two PTSD'd out adventurers with the soul of their dead friend and the loss of their other kidnapped by a bird, headed back along the way, spied a village that they had completely overlooked, and now rappelled down to find out that demons were keeping humans almost like cattle. And so Kalik rappelled down the side, almost
to
died.
take a better look, but still
Very
almost died.
Very unsuccessfully, I might add.
Climbed back up with the help of our newest member, Nitsu, an Eston rogue, and a general shithead,
Teehee.
who is very adamant that it was his and his will alone that saved Kalik.
While we all know that Audrey managed to.
Yeah, despite the fact that Henri rolled 20s and saved Kalik from dying.
Same thing.
If anything, Audrey knows the truth.
Right. And that's all that matters. So the party headed further out, keeping everything pretty much intact, until they came across another horde of demons, which they fought, which Kalik expertly kited about, 80 feet away from the other two.
Audrey almost died there.
Henri almost died. Nitsu almost broke a nail.
Thank you.
And was nonplussed about that. Nitsu, of course, being the untrained buffoon he is, absorbed one of the souls that was left behind, learning the spell Third Arm Strike, which allows him to make another attack on top for the cost of souls. In the aftermath and recovery, Kalik decided he wanted to show off and attempted to remove the oversized great axe from the ground so that he could take it back to the port town and sell it, but dislocated his shoulder, and a quick, medically approved pat on the back from Henri sent him over the edge and rendered him unconscious, where the necessitated, ghostly voice of their old partner Leo bade him absorb the leftover soul. Kalik, genius he is, did.
I thought it was by accident because I died. The soul just kind of absorbed
Right.
it.
Yeah, it was faster than Henri, but you couldn't withstand
Voice
it.
on my
It overwhelmed your unconscious form.
Right.
And since then, you had dreams on the trip before that were very distinctly bits of Leo's abusive past. And so, before you were seeing Leo, now in his dreams, you're seeing yourself, Kalik. Your parents are turning up your soles and smacking you on the soles of your feet with a cane. You're being told you're not good enough, what have you, when you sleep, and it makes your rests especially fitful.
Right. Okay.
But that's not the least of your troubles. You've now returned to the port town, which is a bustling slayer's town, rife with people who have killed demons now. One particular demon slayer is a man you were contracted with, Salahad Isa Ban, a sultan sworn in the servants of the sultan. And he bade you go out and you bring back the Northern King's soul. He was very glad you did, but he was very upset that you all
He's
absorbed
disappointed
souls.
in us.
You also met somebody who felt something off about Kalik. One Sophia Leonhard. And Kalik, you feel an extra special kinship to Sophia. An urge to protect her kind of wells up every time you see her. Your heart twinges a little when you see her too. You don't know what to make of that.
Right. Okay.
And so Salahad said that when you gave him the rundown of your story and told him about Arbecht and
Left the storytelling to Henri.
yes, Henri did all the storytelling. Told
Yeah,
Arbecht, told
it's hard for mute.
Salahad all about Arbecht and his village of half demons and all the terrible things that happened in the north. He said that he wanted you now to go and clear a path to the castle in the center of Attenmore, the King's Keep, and said that in 3 days he would await your answer, and then he would go and kill Arbecht. And with that, Henri went out, threw the king's soul into the water, and you were all left to your thoughts. So that is where we will pick up. The time is mid-afternoon. It's very cloudy. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but it's definitely looming. What does everybody want to do?
We're still in the new, like, newly established, newly gentrified Esther Tavern, right?
It's the taverns are kind of unified into one brand now.
Yeah, that's what I said, gentrified.
Yeah.
So we're still in the inn, like we haven't left or anything like that?
No,
Yeah, we haven't-
Arbecht,
we haven't.
or Salahad had his own little building on the far end of the pier that he and Sophia
Okay.
work out of.
Okay.
So where would you like to go?
Cleve will kind of wake up, kind of still tired and exhausted, as if, like, sleep is becoming more and more difficult, and he'll go and try and find Henri.
Okay. How findable is Henri right now?
I think she will be easily found at the dock,
All right.
staring at the waves that comes with before the storm.
How about Nitsu? Where's Nitsu in all this?
Well, neither of these two are going to pay me for my services or compensate me for my spoiled clothes, so I'm just going to probably go out and make some money and learn some things as I do so. Just about the
Click.
town, people, etc.
And Nitsu has a background as a performer, yes?
Yes.
So you want to perform on the side of the road, knife juggling, songs, what have you, songs while knife juggling. I'm going to have you make a perception roll for me, or a performance roll.
All right, give me just 1 second to figure out the things.
So that would be 1d20 plus your perform.
So 1d20 plus 6. Fuck.
Your performance is well watched. You're not paid too heavily because they figure a man just juggling knives is honestly a little threatening. So you make about 30 gold.
Awesome.
And you use 2 of it on bandages for times you accidentally nick your fingers. So you make a sum total of 28 gold off the endeavor. More than enough to repair your clothes.
All right.
As you take it into the tailor, first of all, you're surprised there is a tailor here. You figured there would just be an armorer. The tailor looks at it and he looks at your fingers and he says, I'll do this one for free. But you need to calm down with the knives. I saw you out there and that was not all right.
Take his words to heart. Thank him generously.
You just be careful out there. You got a heart of gold. I'd hate to see them take it from you. And so he's repairing your robe, so you've kind of got the day as you wish. He says it'll be done around mid-afternoon. It's still pretty early morning.
I guess I'll go gossip.
Okay. So now back to Kalik and Henri, who are looking out at the waves romantically.
Clique will kind of like go find her and sit there for a moment, just kind of assessing how she feels, probably completely oblivious to anything that she feels because, you know, that charisma score of -1 is still doing wonders. Wonders.
And if Audrey really wants to deceive about how she feels, she kind of has an advantage.
Right.
Right.
Cleve will eventually kind of like muster up the bravery to ask her, kind of tap her on the shoulder to make sure that she's looking, and just sign to her kind of, what do we do? In kind of a vague question of like, what do we do now, but more specifically referring to like, what do we do with Salahadi Sabad's offer? Like, what do you want to do? Because he doesn't give a shit about two things. Like, he gives 0 fucks.
It's just some random dude that's
Yeah, exactly.
demanding.
He could not give less of a fuck about what Nitsu thinks about the whole situation. He could be here, he could not be here, he could stay, he could leave. Kalik gives 0 fucks. But he was asking Henri.
Of the what do you think we should do, or what do you want to do, kind of thing. Okay. Henri will be taking her moment to think about it, because that's precisely why she's been out here.
And it's at this point that Nitsu's gossip trail leads him over to you guys. Since he's without his robe, he looks much more spindly and just thin. The robe has made him look like a much bigger man than he actually is.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be taking the job to clear the way of the center. I'm already considering heading back home to see what has changed. Considering look around the port town, things have changed from what I'm used to.
Right. Kalik will kind of nod solemnly and gesture quite slowly and quite deliberately with, I want to go, but he seems quite sad about that. And he seems to pause to consider for a moment before, in kind of a moment of vulnerability, share with her that he's unsure what to do now. That he's not sure he's making the right decision.
Nitsu, since you have a basic understanding of Kalik's hand signs, you kind of also gather that Kalik's not sure what to do.
But at the same time, would like to go to clear the center, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, but he does mention that he's not sure that that's the right decision to make.
Well, Nitsu is being eavesdropper. Henri is going to be.
I just don't want to ruin your two lovely moment. I mean, I don't know what I'm walking in on.
Henri is going to be taking the moment to consider. I think at this point in time, it's a individual-based decision whether or not they would like to go or leave.
Yes. There are always boats that leave Attenmore, and there are always boats that come to Attenmore.
I'm pretty sure you will find someone that's willing to go to the center.
Kali kind of nods and kind of firms up and decides, and he signs, then I will go, but if you are not coming, I will miss you. And he kind of like awkwardly like extends his really long lanky arms to try to like go for a hug, but then realizes that that's probably not this like right thing to do, so he just kind of hovers there awkwardly for a moment. and then he just kind of like, then he just kind of holds it there, so he kind of looks like a lanky spider with like his arms all up, like
going, not sure what to.
he's trying to like go in for a
Kalik, roll
hug,
a
and then
d20.
like, what? Why?
Roll a d20.
Why?
A flat d20.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I mean, you deserve this. You did this to yourself.
14.
You try to stifle it as best you can, but your eyes are kind of misty. And, you begin to cry.
Oh. He's crying, like there's tears in his eyes, but he's still like he's like half hugging, like he's
Right.
still trying to go in for the hug, but still like not.
You're trying to
fucking-
put up a brave front.
Henri will finish this with a one arm hug and a basically pat on the back.
Oh,
Be careful about that shoulder.
Careful about those pats on the back.
Yeah, being specifically carried about that particular fuck you shoulder.
well, I mean, I
That's
slept
pretty
it off,
dumb,
right?
Henri.
I had like a long rest, so technically, like back of full health, the shoulder should be pretty
Yeah.
okay. For the most part, you're not gonna kill me anymore. But yeah, after the hug connects, he like realizes that okay, it's okay for me to hug people. So he like actually completes the hug a little bit, and he's still like misty-eyed and bit of a sniffle at the tail end of it. Before he kind of lets her go, and kind of nods, and then asks like, "When are you leaving?"
I will have to make sure that at least leave something for you to go to work with. I plan to perform so you can get new potions, and I'm going to give you the rope so that you can if you need to repel again, the amount of rope is already there.
Khalid kind of lowers his head in shame. He lowers his head in shame at his.
Kalik is for sure crying now.
And that will be another careful pat on the back. Like, I am not teasing you.
He looks so ashamed.
All right, now I'm going to interrupt this beautiful moment. Well met, Henri. It was nice meeting you. And
Let's see. I'm doing my secret roll to see how surprised Henri is at this.
Malik just looks at Nitsu like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Why are you?"
Guess what? Henri is not at all surprised about this.
Kalik's just staring at like Nitsu like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Why are you here at all? Like, go back to whatever hole you crawled out of, please." Like, conveys that with just eye contact.
party is such sweet sorrow. But, welcome, partner. Ready for this new venture?
That's the noise Kalik makes. It's just a snort. Like, and then hand signs, expecting Nitsu to understand somewhat. Like, you're coming with. Like,
I
As
don't
if, like-
pay attention to his hand signs at all. Yes. Enough of that. Plans to make, people to see, things to do.
Henri will take a moment to just basically tap Kalik and gesture him for him to give her the ear, so that she can whisper.
he kind of leans down as far as he can so that he's like ear level. Like, yep.
Henri will whisper, so that Nitsu cannot overhear. Make sure that he doesn't decide to swim into the ocean. He was the one that argued to keep the king's soul.
Khalid kind of snickers and then sides back. I just need an excuse to shoot him in the face.
Now play and
Nitsu,
that
roll me-
basically be
Nitsu, give me a
a.
perception check.
I will also make a roll for the whole keeping things.
So that's...
The perception check is more for Kalik's hand signs.
How much he understood?
Yeah.
And then plus perception, or just
Yes.
flat 20?
No, plus perception.
Alright.
But doesn't he take a minus to the fact that he doesn't actually fucking understand any, like, he only has a really basic understanding of the language?
That's why he's making a perception check. With a 15, you kind of you make out a couple words in particular. The most poignant one is "shoot him."
Fantastic.
I'll make a mental note of it, but I won't like make a deal of it.
All right, and that'll basically be a that's all. That's all I really wanted to tell you.
All right. So Henri has
So-
announced she's going back to Macau.
At first, she's going to be like doing some perform with her flute.
Hey, sure, absolutely. Give me a perform check. Give me one perform check per every hour you want to perform.
So, do you want Kalik's help?
Nah, she'll be
Probably
fine.
not.
She'll be
I don't
fine.
think you want Kalik's help.
She'll be fine. She'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
Do you want Kalik to go stand further away so that there's not a giant fucking looming man with scars just like looming over you the whole time?
If anything, Audrey had him sit down in his
Like-
spot.
Like,
And
points
spot-
far away.
Basically, it will be anything. It's like sit here, and she'll move to the distance that she needs. Remember, I have a base of 12,
Yes.
12, so I can save my performance, I think.
Pretty much.
And I think I will go kill the tie basically with 3
Okay.
hours.
You make
Alright,
a
after
grand
about-
total of 500 gold. More than enough to pay
After-
your ship fare.
I also have money left over from the
Yes.
before. The thing is, I'm performing so that Kulik can get new potions without trouble. Would the ship fare to Macau be good enough to cover with 145 gold?
Absolutely. That would get you
Okay.
a nice ship. You would be sleeping above deck in a
Yeah.
noble's quarters.
That's all right. And if there's any sort of like need to cover up, I'll do what help that I need to do around the ship. But so basically after the 3 hours performance, Henri will give the 500 gold to Kalik.
Kalik will look down at the pile of gold, look up at her, and the like a single tear of gratitude.
Oh, it's more than a single tier. I ain't making you roll this one. You're crying like a bitch now.
Oh my god, please!
It is finally set in that this person who you've been through so much with is leaving you with this vagabond.
God damn it. Are you sure it's tears and not just like mild annoyance and rage?
No, it's tears.
Okay, it's fine.
Because Henri is also making it clear that she probably should need to look at her home, see what's changed.
Hmm.
And-
With 5, are they at least manly tears?
Yeah.
With the 5, is it manly tears? Okay, that's fine.
Is there a mail service in Attenmore?
And
There,
also
yes.
the 99 feet of rope
Mhm.
will be bundled along with. And I'm pretty sure we're done with the jerky that's in my character sheet by this point of time.
Yeah, just about. The trek to
Yeah.
and fro kind of consumed it all.
Yeah. All right. I think, Kalik, do you want me to help you out with getting the potions, since you have
Sure,
to
send us
rely
a
on
letter.
writing and sign?
He nods vigorously, but he then signs to her like, we should split up. I'll go tell Salahab that I will be joining him.
Okay. Would you like me to take the gold that I've made and buy potions?
He just like
In that
hands it
regard.
all to her.
Hands it right back. Okay.
He's just like, he looks at it for a moment, and then like just kind of shoves it right back, like, and then he starts heading off the direction of Salahad.
And then Honoru will go and seek the appropriate shop since things seem to be united.
Okay. Who wants to have their scene first?
Let Henri have her seat first. I want to see her barter for fucking potions.
Sure thing. The apothecary is now an offshoot building of the blacksmith. One of the young men that you met the first time around is kind of sitting at the desk, unamused. He's leafing through a very worn hardback book. He doesn't even look up as you come in. Even though there's a little bell at the top of the door that rings when you open the door.
Well, Honoru will be going to the counter because I'm pretty sure they don't have health the potions out there to see.
Right.
Kinda
All that's
thing.
really out there to see is like herbs and files and stuff. And as you approach the counter, he doesn't even look at you. He's just kind of tilted sideways so that his profile is visible, and he's got the book kind of resting on the desk. Oh, how can I help you?
I would like to buy health potions.
What size and how many?
That would depend on the size.
We got small,
For-
medium,
for-
and large.
How much would a medium would be?
Why does he sound like he's high?
He kind of looks
Might
up.
be.
He looks up at you for the first time. Don't
I've
I
been
know
away
you
for
from
a while.
somewhere?
I've been away for a while.
You were the one with the big brown man who's been around town. Sally?
It's all hot.
All those brown types look the same to me, to be completely honest. Let's see. Figure mediums. How many are you looking to buy?
I would like to know what would be the average price for the medium to determine how much I would like to buy.
If you're buying 5 or less, pretty face like yours, 20 gold a pop.
What a steal.
And, well, let's see. I'm going to go with 10. And how much would be the large potions?
Well, if you're buying 10 of them, we've been told to give you a discount. So that pops it down to 175 per 10. For larges, we don't have as many of those in stock. We've only got about 3 of them right now. The big guy came in and bought them all. So
Oh,
we've got 3 large potions left. For the larges, I'll give them to you for 75 a pop.
bargain. Bargain. Bargain that shit down. Evie?
I'm making notes real quick.
She's scheming, that's what she is. She's scheming.
Before I fully do scheme, would an insight check would allow her to go, would 75 gold per large potion be worth it or not?
Sure.
And insight says
Yeah, it seems like a fair price to you.
Well, I'm going to go with two. Two of the large potions.
Sure thing.
That
So,
that should add
10
up to.
mediums and 2 of the large. That's a total of 300 gold.
Thank you very much. And she'll hand 300 gold.
And he kind of hefts the gold and sets it down and kind of gathers the potions on a. They've got a little kind of like a sling for potions, a loop of rope that you kind of can loop around your belt that has each potion in a little nozzle.
In
For
a
easier
little
carrying.
compartment
Yeah.
for easy grabbing.
Like a bandolier.
Yep.
So you've got that. It's very cumbersome because there's 12 potions on it.
Christ.
I mean, carrying 90 feet of rope is kind of cumbersome of
Yeah.
itself. So this is nothing new. It's just more of different, a little bit more weight, and Henri has time to walk. She will be walking to the inn that Salahad basically paid for them all to stay at, so it's
Right.
easier for them to talk to amongst each other. And I'm pretty sure Kalik will assume to go back to the inn.
I would hope so.
I mean,
but right
he's not
now,
that
Kalik is in a bit of a pinch. You see, he headed over to Salahad's office, the last building on the pier, and
Uh-huh.
he opened the door, and he doesn't exactly see Salahad. He does see Sophia, though, and she's sitting there, scribbling through some papers. She looks over her shoulder, sees you, and just looks back to it, and as you're kind of looking over her, you're overtaken with a sense of desire. Give me a charisma save.
Great! Great! I love making saves at -1. I fucking love it.
Oh god.
This is
With-
it okay? By desire, do you mean the need to fuck the soul? The sister of the soul that I have consumed? Is that the desire that you're talking about? That's gross. Wait. Leo had a sister fetish? Oh god!
The more you don't notice it right now, but
Okay.
with a 4 you kind of unthinkingly move across the room and put your arms around Sophia as she's sitting.
Oh great. I'm so socially competent.
Like, you just give her this big ol' hug while she's sitting there,
Uh-huh.
and in a knee-jerk reaction, she jams her pen into your forearm, recoiling you across the room. And
How
you
much damage do I
kinda
take?
just 1 point.
Okay. God damn it.
And she stands up and knocks the chair over and looks at you very fiercely and asks what the hell you think you're doing.
Mm.
This is
Clink
getting
is just-
difficult.
His mouth just opens and closes like a gasping fish. And no words come out, obviously. And he like signs in panic in like some attempt to convey to her that like, I don't know, I just wanted to hug you, I don't know what's going on, without like fully realizing that she doesn't understand shit. So all he looks like is just like mouth open and closing and just like a flurry of hand signs, none of which she understands.
It is at this point that Salahad comes running out of the back, swinging open the door with his hand on the sword at his side. And if you remember anything from last session, Henri made notice that Salahad's sword bears an awful lot of semblance to a Macauan honor blade. Now, the historical aside
Right.
is that Macauan honor blades are impossibly sharp. Like, when drawn, a Macauan honor blade can cut through anything, but they're filled with the water that is assumed to contain the souls of their ancestors. So Salahad's got his hand on the hilt of his sword, still in its sheath, and he looks very sharply at you. There is killing intent in his eyes. And he
Oh,
steps
okay.
across the room and places himself between you and Sophia, and he says, what are you doing, Sandhawk?"
The flurry of gestures kind of like subsides into something more coherent as opposed to just like what would basically be word soup. He finally like closes his stupid mouth and he's just like, I just wanted to hug her, I guess. And it's like it trails off into like a question mark of a hand sign of and it just trails.
It's very clear that he is confused. He's a confused man.
Like, he looks just as confused as anyone else in the room.
Kali, give me a
But then
perception check.
a perception check? Okay.
Yes.
Just check my perception.
Actually, make it an insight check.
That's my perception and insight are the same, so yeah. Hi. Wow, I'm rolling so good today. I'm so excited. This is gonna be great. You know what? You know what this is? It's because I'm not in combat. The moment that I'm in combat, this will all fix itself. Theoretically, this will all be better.
Well, with an 8, you don't really insight anything. You're just
No.
kind of sitting there, dumbfounded, not entirely sure why you just hugged this Eston girl. And Salahad looks at you very, very sharply, and he says, "Don't let it happen again, beast.
He kind
Why have you come here?"
I have come, and he kind of like gets his shit together for a moment before like communicating. He's like, "I've come to accept your offer. I was hoping it would go smoother than this."
Smoother than forcing yourself on my scholar.
Yes.
So you'll clear the path to the center of the island.
He looks down for a moment and replies with, "I'll do what I can. However, there's only so much that one man can do."
Well, you are not a man, beast. So do what I tell you.
Never mind, the regret of fucking accepting this offer is sinking in now. Like,
And
he
he
immediately
turns around, goes back into his office, and Sophia follows him. Chancing a very frightened look at you as she goes.
Fantastic. Kaliko will fucking basically run away like a crying little girl to go find Aubrey again.
Alright, so you find Henri back at the hotel you guys were staying at. I'm guessing Nitsu is there.
I mean, I probably would have picked up my robes and
Yes.
made my way back or whatever.
So you're very satisfied with the clean state of your robes, and even more satisfied at the apparent distress on Kalik's face. So you're all back together now.
Henri would have on one of the beds laid out 10 medium potions, 2 large, and she most likely got a belt pouch for the remaining 200 gold that she's going to entrust onto Kalik.
A parting gift? You shouldn't have. As I go
It's-
to intercept the belt.
It's for Kalik.
How quickly can I swat his hand away?
Dex roll.
Like flat jacks? Okay.
And Nitsu will also give me a dex save.
That's just flat, no bonus?
Well, dex bonus.
You only would have a save if you're chose to be proficient in your dex save.
So as Kalik
I rolled
goes,
a 2.
as Kalik goes to swat your hands, you very quickly grab his hands and start to shake them.
Yes. Glad to be in business with you too. Now, where were we? Ah, the belt.
So what about the belt, Henri? Nitsu is very clearly going for it.
Hold on a minute. Henri would take the stern statement. It might be bordering onto intimidation. It's for Kalik.
Oh,
Ah, yes, well, that makes sense and all. Good for you, man. Cheer up. Something went your way.
can I flip him off?
If he's going with you, you can determine how much potions that he can carry. This is towards Kalik. Because
How many potions I can carry?
No, how
I
many
got
potions
10
Nitsu-
medium and 2 large.
I've got a strength score of +2.
So yeah, you can carry him. You're also substantially bigger than Henri.
Yep.
So the bandolier kind of fits you a little better.
They basically made the bandolier more for bulky man than for lady.
So Nitsu wasn't with you when you accosted Sophia and were basically put out by Salahad. So how much of that do you want to share with them? Kalik?
And before Kalik says nothing,
Uh-oh. Yeah, we can't hear you anymore.
Okay, so Kalik is going to tell Henri everything, apparently. That he, assaulted Sophia?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say that Kalik will tell Henri everything, including the part where the sudden urge to just hug another human person. When even prior
Not
to
just-
this, he wasn't
not just another human person.
Sophia, look, point is, he's just confused that he's wanting to hug another human person. Like, he's only ever hugged someone the first time by hugging, Henri earlier today, and therefore he's totally, has no idea how that translated into, I'm gonna go hug this random woman who I, for some reason, feel immediate kinship and attachment to, even though I've never met her. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of this, word soup of, mild panic and unsureness. He basically sounds like a teenager.
As this is going on, Henri's basically would be taking a seat of what would be her bed, watching the hand signs. And if you would like me to have Henri try and pull the information together, I will do investigation.
Since you're fluent, you can you figure most.
Well,
most
it's
all of it out.
more so trying to decide whether or not Henri would go. Maybe the sudden urge is Leo's soul.
you dog, you control yourself.
How much does Nitsu understand? Literally none of it, or some of it?
I could probably understand the word girl and assault.
Give me an intelligence check, Nitsu.
That's a +2.
You know what? If I don't need to do investigation roll, I'm going to do my own security roll of whether or not Henri will be able to pull together.
Nitsu has been piecing together context clues from Kalik's hand signs using what he knows and combining it with what he's saying and how Henri reacts, and has advanced his understanding of hand signals. So he picks up about half of it. He understands that you forced yourself on someone.
Cleek's basically like it's a word splurge, kind of like a teenage boy realizing that he has hormones for the first time. That's basically how like it comes across as. Like I just hugged another person. I don't know how that happens or why that happened. Like I don't know what's going on.
I'm embarrassed for you. I'd say go apologize, but that'd make things worse. Do you have anything of Leo's on hand? Both in character and out of character question.
I have Leo's soul.
Inside of
So
you.
that's not on hand. That's not on hand though. That's inside.
Like a trinket amulet?
Do I?
No, you left everything
I don't think
there.
I took anything. I left everything there. I think. Yeah. No. Kalik shakes his head. Just says no.
So much for that plan.
But I did my security role, and Henri, from once that settled down and Nitsu distracted the conversation, she will point out maybe the sudden urge to hug Sophia here came from Leo's part.
Kalik kind of considers that for a moment and decides to share with Henri the fact that he's been having strange dreams. And he describes those dreams to Henri in as much detail as he can.
Well, they're very lucid dreams, so you can describe them in absolute detail.
Alright.
Basically, these lucid dreams are very different from normal dreams of which we would normally forget.
Yeah. Kalik is trying to convey them as accurately as possible to her.
Right.
Just like in as much detail as he can muster. He's not talking about the detail of the dream. He's trying to convey as much detail of the dream to Henri.
Right. Give me a perform check.
Oh, great.
Since you were trying to vividly convey.
Great. My perform is -1. I'm so excited.
Would I be able to give support role, or does he have to deal with this himself?
Yeah, because you're the one trying to figure it out.
14.
That's good enough.
14.
You convey most of the feeling. You don't manage to get it like perfectly across, but by and large, you don't manage to convey like the sense of dread the dreams give you, but you manage to convey that you are essentially dreaming out parts of Leo's life, and since absorbing the soul, you have supplanted yourself into them.
And he finishes with his flurry of hand signals, kind of looking a little bit defeated and kind of sullen in many ways.
Well, I mean, yeah, you just totally forced yourself on your friend's sister.
Look, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up, you!
I guess technically now she's your sister too.
Only from like a spiritual standpoint.
So what you're telling me is I just sexually assaulted my sister. Thanks, man. That makes it so much better.
I mean, it'd be like assaulting your stepsister if it makes you feel any better.
No, it doesn't make me feel any better.
Half sister.
Still doesn't make me feel any better.
You're not supposed to feel better.
Then why do you keep talking as if it's gonna make it any better?
I just want you to get the whole scope of it.
Oh, great. Thanks. I appreciate it. I need a fucking cigarette. I'm bringing you guys with me. But we're gonna keep going, but just know that I'm
Well, with that might actually solidify Henri's opinion. Maybe it's Leo's part.
Alright, so you guys understand now a little better that Kalik is inheriting some of Leo's personality through his soul. And what you do with that is up to you. But the night is drawing upon. The evening is well and over. The sun is setting.
I will stay. I will stay the night, and then I'll look around for boats.
We'll say you've already made purchase on a boat in the morning. So you're all squared away, and everybody's saying their tearful goodbyes. Nitsu's are crocodile tears.
Of course.
Is Khalid crying again, or is he not crying?
Henri
I
will
don't
be
know.
actually out of.
I don't know, Nikki. Is he crying? Give me another 20.
Henri will actually be not in her.
No.
Henri
make
will
me.
actually be in not in her leather armor. She will actually be in the clothing that would be more so of her that she has
Casual
mixed
clothing.
with being her performance
Yeah.
and not her performance.
Right.
This tearful goodbyes. Khalid, do I have to actually roll to cry? Do I?
You have to roll not to cry. You can cry if you want.
No, he's crying. He's definitely crying. Manly tears. Manly tears.
This
but
big
he
baby's been crying all day.
I know he really has. He's had a rough couple of days. Okay, cut him some slack. But he manages to, like, before he leaves, just kind of make sure that she knows that he just decides to her, if I live through this, hopefully we can meet again.
You know to ask for Henri if you ever find wind color Henri.
He makes a note of that and nods.
Does he write it down in his notebook?
Yes.
He has a notebook?
Yes, he does.
He has a notebook.
Yes. How do you think he's been teaching these people how to speak? He's got lesson plans and everything like that. So it's how he communicates with people who don't understand hand signs. He writes it down.
And what the hell?
What do you mean by what the hell?
You
And
took the opportunity to study, so.
I know.
And so brings the first day to an end. Day 2 begins.
And while this is going on, I'm going to change out my profile image.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's happening! Oh, it's happening!
Day 2 begins, and you guys take Henri to the pier. She's got all of her stuff gathered up. The deckhands for the boat she's taking are mostly Macauan sailors. There's a couple Estons, whatever. They're singing sea shanties and shit and prepping the boat for launch. And so this is the part where you all say your goodbyes to Henri. And
So long. Send us a letter, friend. Tell us how it goes on the mainland.
I'm going to another set of islands.
Same thing.
Objectively not, but okay.
I don't know if she's going to islands.
Yes, you do. If she's going home, she's very obviously Macauan.
I don't know these things. I'm but a humble
Yes, you do.
rogue.
I guess he's very bad at geography. It's fine.
all he sees is the score.
All he sees is that his want of money.
Kulik bids her a quite sorrowful goodbye. Kind of gives her a hug and tells her and wishes her a fair journey. May the winds be with you. May the winds carry you well, and may your journey be blessed and fruitful. May it be boring, and may it be safe.
Now, when you go to sign May the Winds Be With You, that is a very deep Sandhawk slang. And since Henri is not so versed in slang, you sign to her, go deep on the sky, which makes absolutely no sense.
It's fine.
All
We'll figure
Henri
it
is
out.
just going good. All Henri is going to get is probably may the
guess-
journey be boring and not be exciting.
May your journey
Is it-
be safe.
And
Kalik
with that,
will have a return hug, and Henri will be going, and may you at least be able to return from the center.
He kind of chuckles and often shrugs and nods and kind of awkwardly waves in farewell.
Nitsu and Henri, give me perception checks real quick.
Oh, hey, decent.
Nitsu, you don't notice anything. You're too busy eyeing up those potions. Henri, you don't think to say anything about it, but you notice that Kalik's laugh is not as dry as it used to be. That there is some voice in it. And, it sounds a little familiar.
Ah! Sorry. Please tell me I'm not getting Leo's laugh. Please tell me that's not. Please don't tell me I'm gonna get my voice back, except I'm gonna sound like Leo.
Fine, I won't tell you.
It'll just happen.
God damn it. Okay.
And before Henri can even say anything, the sailors kind of whisk her on board. They have a deadline to meet. And the boat travels off. You're waving goodbye. Kalik is crying.
Yeah, he's crying like the biggest baby in the world. Like not even like subtle sobs. It's just like actual, almost wailing tears if he had a voice. Like he'd be wailing.
Need a drink? Keep your mind off your troubles, friend.
He just kind of signs "fuck off."
Nitsu doesn't know that word, so he just kind of stays there and keeps asking.
He just walks off. He just leaves.
So Kalik walks off. Nitsu.
I'm gonna attempt to salvage some kind of meaningful talk relationship with Salahadin girl, if at all possible.
Okay. You go over to Salahad's office. You knock on the door. There's no answer. You try the handle and it gives quite easily. And as you swing the door open, the inside of the office is completely empty.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
What would you like to do now?
Is it empty, or is it like...
Empty.
I guess I would go back to what used to be his office and give that a knock also, just for giggles.
You give it a knock, no answer. You try the knob this time, and it is locked. And there is no visible mechanism on this side of the door to open it.
I guess I'll shrug it off and make my way back to fucking the town square, or whatever it is, and try my hand at some more money-making scheme.
On your way to the town square, you come across somebody being the very clear subject of a lot of attention. It's what looks to be a young Eston woman with a very frazzled look, kind of holding a sword.
Her shield will be naturally placed at her back. She doesn't need it right now. But she does have a sword that has a red ribbon tied around its hilt.
The people are making a fuss about her, not so much because she seems outstanding to look at or anything, but because she just kind of walked into town and, when approached, flipped the guy onto his back. And so now a group is kind of forming and she is taking a defensive stance. Meet Mariah, everybody.
Hi, Mariah. By the way, she looks like that. She is young. By the way, she's 18. I'm sorry. She rolled to be 18, and also she is 5'1".
You flipped him on his back?
Yeah.
Onto his back.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't know that, but I'd see a man on the ground and people gathered around him, so I guess I could gather that much. All right, let's bluff my way through this. Well met, friend. Finally, glad to see you. Looking for you all morning. So sorry about that. Here, a few coins for your troubles. Come now, we've got to go. Grabbing Mariah by the hand and gently tugging her away from the crowd of
You know, I
fuckery
think
that's
she's.
about to happen.
Hold on, let me let me see just how frazzled she is about this.
I was gonna say, do you want a strength check to put Nitsu on his back?
Let me do my security opinion dice here. She is neutral enough not to be doing a suplex on him.
Suplex him anyway.
So she will be dragged. She will be guided away from the crowd, and she will be like blinking of the fuck. The clear sign of what the fuck is going on.
Now that that's out of the way, welcome to Attenmore. My name's Nitsu.
Hi,
I will be your pleasant guide. If you'll follow me, I'll introduce you to my colleague Kalik, and if you've the time, we've got a wonderful business venture for you.
Tell me what this business venture is before I even like agree.
It's just a simple escort, you know, guide this old rich baron to a keep of sorts. Do some slight janitorial work, clean the place up for him, you know. Simple, easy enough. Play our cards right, it'll be about, I think you said 5,000 gold apiece?
Judging from the context of the area and whatnot, there's very much a doubtful look. Like it's like staring daggers into your face.
Who cares about these details? Just come along. My friend's better at speaking than I am. I'm sure he'll be able to convince you.
Sense a vague sense of irony since I'm already doubting the story that you're telling, huh?
Back in the inn, polishing up his gear, rearranging his, like, the beads in his dreads, and, you know, fixing his hair. He seems to be, like, combing out his dreads and then re-dreading them, and then replacing beads.
Basically, Nitsu is bringing a 18-year-old Eston-looking girl that looks that she has the "what bullshit am I on?"
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily take you to the room. I'd probably just take you to the bar downstairs, buy you breakfast.
Basically, what's like
and
here,
then
have breakfast. So all of his expenses, how much does it total up?
I have a total of 28 gold. Thank you very much, and that's more than enough to buy you breakfast and give 5 coins to the man that you nearly slaughtered.
So that'll run you a total of 10 gold.
I thought I'd ask about expenses.
Like eventually
Getting you both
downstairs.
breakfast. Getting you both breakfast is 5 gold, and then tipping the man 5 gold is another 5 gold.
Kalik eventually makes his way downstairs to find the person that he already doesn't like chatting up a teenage girl, and is definitely concerned.
Damned.
And kind of meanders his way over, and like kind of looms over the both of them with his arms crossed, just kind of glaring daggers at Nitsu, hand signing like, "What are you doing?" Like,
For the sake of full image. That's basically the full image of Mariah. And yes, she does have the purple flowery things that's braided into her hair to keep it out of her face.
how tall is Mariah?
5'1", an inch shorter than Henri.
That's fine. Kalik is fucking 6'4". It's fine. Kalik will just kind of loom over the both of them and hand sign to Nitsu, especially glaring daggers at Nitsu, kind of hand signing like, "What are you doing?" Except it's "What the fuck are you doing?" Except he doesn't understand what fuck means yet, and hand signs. So
Now,
all he
now,
gets
now,
is
now. None of that. She can't get that. Write it down. You have to forgive my friend. You spent a little bit too much time drinking last night. He's a little hoarse.
Kalik sighs, an exasperated sigh of somebody who seems to have a million weights on his shoulder, and like reaches out a hand to shake hers in a rather almost cordial manner.
She'll accept the cordial handshake, and I'm pretty sure the guy that she flipped over just grabbed her. By the way, so
And wait, he grabbed her now?
no, the,
Oh,
the
before.
for like context of like so what happened of sort of thing, but that will depend. The details will have to depend on the DM.
Yeah.
Kalik, after shaking her hand, like rears his neck back and points at the fact that like half of his neck is fucking missing, and hopes that clues her in on the fact that he's actually fucking mute. And
Mariah, make an insight check.
Okay.
At advantage, because Kalik is trying to make it as obvious as possible. Yeah, with that 21, you understand that his throat was ripped out, so he has trouble speaking.
Oh, okay. I see why he mentioned about having to write it down. Then, ha ha. By the way, you said that you would word things better, and you have to make a joke out of him. Ha ha. Very sarcastic try. Ha.
Kalik glares at Nitsu upon the understanding that he was talking shit behind his back, but kind of huffs it off and just writes his name on the sheet of paper and like hands it to her and then points at himself like, "That's my name, dude."
My name is Mariah.
He just kind of nods.
Roll a d20, Kalik.
Oh, great, fantastic. What's this D24?
You'll see.
3.
Mariah, you read the paper that Kalik handed you, and it says Leo.
I'm loving this.
And Kalik, when she hands the paper back to you, you realize what you just did.
His eyes immediately panic, and his like entire like frame, his 6-foot frame that he had like standing straight, kind of crumples in on itself a little bit. And less so for her, more so for himself, he's like scratching at the paper to scribble it out almost manically, and like tries to write his name properly.
So with Mariah doing the "My name is Mariah" to give return to the name, it's like she will be tilting her head while she's watching the panic happen. It's like, so that's not your name.
You have to forgive my friend. He's not that bright.
He's like manically
wasted ahead.
He's not even listening to Nitsu at this point. He doesn't care. He's more worried about himself. And
he tried to give his name. What is your name, mister, who decided to pull me out of that? Besides, I would have given my own money to smooth things over. It's just,
I believe I already gave you my name. It's Nitsu.
Still going with that story of, hello, Fred, I've been looking for you all day. Okay.
Just, a bit of help for a new adventurer. You can tell that this is probably your first day on Attenmore. I'd like to...
So, DM, is it really her first day?
Is it? I did mention that she looks a little frazzled and had her sword drawn in town.
I'm just making assumptions, friend.
Does Mariah want to correct his assumptions?
You know what? Make him let him believe what he wants to believe. If the information of the truth needs to come to light, then it'll come to light. Don't probably probably one of the details is that she only had her sword drawn, probably after the fact that she flipped the dude onto his back. But she'll just remain silent of letting him believe what he wants to believe. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't even want to know the truth right now. Judging from how much of going, hello, friend.
Kalik will, after like rewriting his name properly, like slides the paper to her. Looks a
So
little bit
did he rewrite his name proper?
Yes.
DM. Kalik. Okay. So I do have to ask about the name Leo. What's up with that?
Kalik gestures to his fucked up voice box again, and then proceeds to like quickly leave to go get some food for himself.
So no
Leaving her.
explanation? 'Cause
Nope.
Nitsu doesn't know who Leo is either.
Nope. He doesn't say shit. He just gestures to his neck. Gestures to his neck, basically showing like I can't tell you really anything, and then goes to like get breakfast.
All right. I guess I'll find out eventually. Depending, I guess.
And Kalik goes and gets some breakfast for himself. Shivvies out 5 gold.
3 gold.
3 gold. 3 gold.
Mariah most likely would have gotten her sword back into its sheath, and the red ribbon will actually be tied it back to be secured. Because normally she ties her sword down so that she doesn't default to grab the sword, and then terrible mistakes happen.
Right.
But it's done its job. She only flipped the guy over.
So the morning passes quickly. Kalik is like very slowly eating, but anytime one of you looks over, he starts eating much faster to busy himself. Nitsu and Mariah, Nitsu just won't stop talking, so it takes a little longer to get through your meals.
Mariah is just most likely doing the occasional occasional comment here and there with Nitsu's constant blabbing and talking things up. She'll most likely be waiting until after everyone is eaten to go. So Nitsu talked about that you guys are taking up on a job, and he's giving me bullshit.
He pulls out his piece of paper and writes down, I do have a job. I didn't remember inviting him, but we will be clearing a path north. Sorry, not north, to the center, right? Center
Yes,
of Attenmore.
northeast.
Yeah, northeast. So he'll just write to the center of Attenmore.
If it's like in the process that Mariah can read this as it goes, she'll actually be the one to ask, "Are you okay with me going along?" And I think I probably need to head out of town again.
He pauses for a moment to think that over, and very, very quickly writes down, I'm not sure. Do you value your own life?
I have training to be able to deal with the demons here, and I'll be willing to help out. There is a story involved, but I'd rather not go into it right now.
He kind of gives her
As to why she points to Nitsu, who's probably now quiet and trying to, which is very disconcerting with his quiet. It's part of why you met met me while he was just chatting me up. I will owe you the story of why that happened.
He nods, and kind of a moment of sadness passes across his face as he thinks about, you know, he reminisces about how he was the same kind of a young adventurer that wandered out. Now, literally everyone he started out with is gone. Like, literally every single one of them. And he kind of nods to her and says, I can't, and writes, I can't guarantee your safety, but if you want to come with, I'm in no position to say no.
You sound really far away from your microphone.
Is that better?
Yes.
With the cannot guarantee safety bit, Mirai will be the one to call it. Safety is never really truly guaranteed unless you avoid what you need to do.
He nods in understanding and finishes off by writing. But I'm in no position to say no. If you want to come with, then
I'll gladly help out, and it seems that it's. I at least need to clear something up with also, Mister. Hello, friend.
Splendid.
the-
Glad we're all agreed then.
can Kalik tell if she has ever had contact with a demon soul? And can she tell that there's something fucking wrong with Kalik in many, many ways?
She can tell that there's something wrong with the both of you. However, her eyes are not red.
Her eyes are very, very much the brightest blue, like sky blue. Enough to make it seem like it's gray at times.
Can she tell that Kalik is really fucked up?
Yes.
I mean, you have your throat slit to some
Yeah.
extent and patched together, so I'd say yeah. Also, your hair's in braids and smelly.
Not braids and dreads. There's a difference. Do you say that to him out loud?
No, this is an out of character thing. I'm saying your character has smelly hair.
Okay. I mean, look,
Kalik,
I appreciate.
as you look into Mariah's eyes, and you reflect on how blue they are, you're reminded of how blue Leo's eyes were, which gets you
Right.
thinking. Sophia's eyes are brown. And her hair's not as blonde.
Basically, you're having intrusive thoughts.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Mari,
blonde hair and blue eyes are dominant traits in the genome. So if one sibling had blonde hair and blue eyes, shouldn't the other?
Great. Kalik will keep this to himself for the time being.
by the way, Mura seems to be keeping to herself about what she can see with through you guys, through the two of yours eyes.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
not a
nothing to
topic
hide.
here for the breakfast table.
I have nothing to hide. I'm pure as the fucking fresh snow.
Kalik snorts and shoves another fucking spoonful of food in his mouth. Then Kalik realizes that he has no idea when and where Salahad wants them to go, and like what time, or if they should be meeting up beforehand, or fucking any sort of detail. And at the same time, he's not sure he wants to go back there.
Well, Nitsu
Well,
knows
I-
something about Salhad's office, but how much of that he wants to volunteer?
Absolutely none of it.
Fantastic.
Well, well met, splendid. Glad you could join the group, etc., etc., etc. We depart in, I believe, 2 more days' time. It was 3 as of the day before yesterday.
No, it was
Oh.
3 the day before that.
Whatever.
So we have-
but-
So one more
Yeah.
day.
yeah, 1 more day. Make your preparations, what have you. We'll meet at the end, and then I suppose meet at Solahad's office before we set out.
Cleek shrugs and nods in agreement. And then, like, his eyes squint a little bit, and then writes out in a flurry, "Who the fuck invited you to this escapade?" Like,
He pretty much invited himself, judging from how he introduced himself to me.
I'm a pivotal part of this party.
Cleek snores again, and buries his face in his hands for a moment and takes a deep breath. And then writes down just a single sentence of, "Do you have a death wish?" Like,
Roll a d20.
me?
Yep.
God damn it, what is with you and my d20s today? Two.
You, you go to write down who the hell invited you to this party. What you actually write is, "Well met, brother."
God damn it.
Are you okay?
Fuck.
Because Nitsu is an Eston.
And Mariah looks like.
Who else did you know that was Eston and believed in racial kinship?
So out of character, I'm so very sorry. Mariah doesn't know the context of things. Otherwise, she'll be very, very sympathetic to Kalik.
He sighs deeply. He doesn't know what the fuck is happening. He's just
If anything, he scribbles out what he written down.
at this point he just scribbles out the whole thing, and instead of like correcting himself, he just has his head in his hands. Just like crumpled over on the table.
So Kalik's having a bad day. Nitsu made a new friend, and the fellowship is essentially formed. What do you all want to do with the rest of the day?
Well, judging from the fact that we need to make preparations, I'm pretty sure 10 days rations do not and will not carry over to the center and back. So Mariah would be the sort to actually go to the docks and see any sort of catches of the day type of thing, and it will be like more or less a fish-based ration.
Okay.
Mariah seems to be the one that will go make sure that we don't starve.
Right.
And if there isn't really anything, then Mariah does have fish tackle.
Well, fish doesn't preserve over well for long journeys.
Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure Mariah, judging from her normal background, she'll be able to actually be pointed to the more appropriate direction, because she it seems that she's very much at home. Besides the whole being frazzled, she's quite happy with port cities.
Right. Because you demonstrate a good knowledge of just general fish, you get a little bit of a discount if you want to buy any. They kind of share some of their tackle with you. They give you a pretty short pole. They tell you that there aren't many rivers inland. And
But
it's
if there
generally not a
there
good idea
is,
to
I'll be
fish in
prepared.
them, because the fish you find are not like normal fish.
Yeah.
Though one of them, an older man with white hair, some facial scarring, one eye cataracted over, makes a point of saying, "If you can bring me back a big fish, big old fish from inland, I'll pay you for it."
All right, I'll do what I can.
Counting on ya.
And she'll probably at least get a fish, so that, well, she much rather would help out with the kitchen and make her own food rather than.
Sure.
And sometimes having something like I brought fish carries well for the cook.
Most of what they have is just kind of general, like salmon, tilapia. Well, not tilapia. Just saltwater fish. And since they know you were pretty adept when it comes to fishing, they'll sell you a pretty decently sized fish for 2 gold.
Yeah, all right. I'll go with the decently sized fish. Insert decently sized fish here.
And they
It's
give you
probably cod.
plenty of salt and paper to wrap it in to preserve it for at least a day or 2.
Yep. If anything, Mariah has what she needs to at least ensure at least 2 days. She'll at least try and carry it over for as long as for the first night, and I guess she'll be making the food for the first night of camping.
How fucked up is Khalik's armor at this point?
Remember, you do got 200 gold, so
I do know.
It's not very.
Okay,
Since
that's fine.
you've been sitting back and shooting a lot. Most of the wounds you've incurred have been like the Demon King knocking you squarely into the ground, which didn't really damage your armor. It just concussed you unconscious.
It makes sense for when Ari was leaving. She was basically in her performance robes. Her armor got fucked up.
Right.
Khalik seems to just be prepping everything, making sure that everything's there. He counts how much soul fused poison he has left. He makes sure everything is kind of there. And he's prepping for the lead.
Sure thing.
I guess I'll spend 10 of my gold on bread and cheese, things that keep for some time, and spend the rest of the time kind of rumor mongering about Shalahad and if anyone had seen him come or go, or heard news of him leaving.
Nobody really says anything because most of them don't know who Salahad is. Some kind of look at you weird. Salad hands? Who? Eventually you just kind of give up and ask one of them people on the watchtowers, and he says, yeah, he headed north. Him and his little girl. This should have been yesterday.
Okay, I guess I'll give the man a gold for his troubles, and are you sure there's no, you said there was no opening on that door to Salahan's office. You sure there's no way I can, try and pry that open?
Are you going to go back and look?
I mean, I might.
At the time you didn't notice anything. If you want to try, you can.
I'll wait until everyone's gathered tomorrow. I can probably have Khalik force open the door. I mean, they don't know it, but he's not going to be there, so...
Right. So now, night has fallen. You guys kind of reconvene at the tavern. Your room is still paid, so... Whether you want to gather in the tavern proper or gather in your room is up to you.
Well, in the meantime, I think Mariah would be working with the cook. She needs something to do before
Right.
anything else.
Khalik will go and try and find Mariah. Does he find her?
Does he? Mariah?
Does he?
Well, that depends if the cook's going to let him.
They don't exactly let you in the kitchen, but yeah, you can see her in there.
She's helping out with the kitchen, and she's cleaning up a fish.
He kind of like waves to her and then gestures kind of back behind him to say that I'll be waiting for you, like, in the tavern. Come, like, yeah. And then he goes and takes
No, no.
seats for her.
If he waits for her to nod of the ICU type thing, then that will be the case, and she'll be resuming with helping out because
Yep.
she kind of volunteered herself to help out with the kitchen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Khalik will go sit in the tavern and just wait for her to be done.
After a while, they just tell Mariah to go on out.
What's going on out?
They give you 30 gold for your help.
Yay. And I most likely got at least a few plates of food
Yes.
because that's probably what Mariah that would probably be the condition that Mariah said that she'll at least be working on the dishes for 3 people.
Yes. So they give you
And
3 people's worth of food, even though Nitsu has yet to show.
I guess I'll...
just because Mariah is tidy does not mean that she won't be able to put down another plate of food.
Well, there you go.
So if he doesn't show up, so if he doesn't show up and let the food get cold, she's going to eat it.
I guess I'll arrive at the tavern and make a nod towards those guys, buy myself a drink, and then see if I can't make some more money swindling people with cards.
Give me a performance check.
So, Khalik, you basically get a plate of food, and then a plate of food will be set off to the side for Nitsu, and Mariah will be sitting down and be digging into her basically dinner.
You are on your bullshit. You swindle 50 gold out of the people of the port town.
Khalik will smile at her, thankfully, and take a bite of food. And while he's kind of shoving food in his face, he's like scribbling in his little note, and he's writing, "If you're going to be journeying with us, I feel that I should be able to communicate with you. Would you be up for learning my language?"
Does it write as intended, DM? Since that seems to be a random thing.
This time it will.
Sure, I'll be willing to learn.
Perfect.
So Khalik, make a wisdom check, and Mariah make an intelligence check.
Can do wisdom. 20.
And I'm decent with the intelligence.
Yep. Lesson goes perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm surprised you didn't make me roll a charisma check for my smile. It's fine.
I've already seen scarier things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mariah.
The character I'm going to have like a session of which I'm fucking up names here. Because, well, I didn't have like a day or a week in between. So Mariah's seen scarier things. So
Right.
the smile did not intimidate her.
Good. Good. Blake appreciates that greatly. He's quite happy about somebody accepting his smile. He's like a giddy little child happy.
Hence why I think the lesson goes so well.
Right.
Definitely. That definitely like oiled the gears for the lesson. So he goes over the basics with her and like signs properly like, "Do you understand?"
With that being basic, that will get a basic Sunhawk of yes.
Yeah! He kind of raises his arms in victory. He's just like, "Fuck yeah, we did it, boys."
So, is Nitsu going to appear for their table? Or is Nitsu going to disappear?
I mean, I've got my gold. I'm happy. I'll buy us a round of drinks, make my way to the table, celebrate our going away party.
Well, since he gets to the table, that extra plate of food gets nudged over to Nitsu. I had to ask because Mariah will finish 2 plates of food if she gotta.
I'll give my thanks, and I guess I'll eat, drink, and we'll be merry, I suppose.
And so you do, well into the night, and eventually you turn into your rooms or to your room, and everybody falls asleep, and Kalik has a dream about Sophia.
Oh, great.
A very nondescript dream where it just focuses on Sophia, and it's all you see through the entire night, and you wake up in a cold sweat in the early morning hours.
Great. Fantastic. He wakes up, gathers all his shit, and, like, still in a cold sweat, still kind of shaking it off, and goes to sit in the tavern to wait. And he takes that time to kind of collect himself and try to figure his shit out.
When Mariah wakes up, she's basically changes out for basically will be changed to clothes for underneath her armor, and she's wearing a breastplate. For the sake of it, I assume that the main part of the breastplate is basically over what will be a, interestingly enough, not off-white underclothes. It's very much of a white sort of thing, and she'll be combing out her hair and doing her braid, and be sticking back the purple flowers.
I'm guessing Nitsu sleeps in because he's a fucking asshole.
No. I'll get up, but I'm gonna make my way to the public bathhouse because fuck this non-cleanliness stuff. I don't want to be like smelly McFucking braid hair.
Does Gleek actually smell bad right now?
He's got dreadlocks.
I mean, and you also haven't bathed in God knows how long.
You do know he washes his dreadlocks, right? Like, when he was, like, recombing his
what,
hair. He,
water?
Like, washed... Yes.
Okay, now his hair smells like rotten dog hair. Because it's dreads that have been filled with grease and just rinsed with water.
Will you leave my dreadlocks alone?
Never. Shave your head.
Probably part of Mariah's routine was actually to get clean, and her hair is actually more likely to be very, very soft. But she's not going to let anyone touch her.
So you all clean up. You have your breakfast. What next?
I suppose we make ourselves over to Shallowhead's shed, or whatever it was.
Hot E-Spod.
I met the guy once, okay?
So you go to Salahad's office.
Mariah will be tagging along because she volunteered herself.
Again, the front door gives. There's nobody inside.
What the hell?
Do I buy his bullshit?
Do you?
What do I roll to not buy his bullshit?
I believe it
mean,
would
You have no reason to not believe me.
Other than the fact that you're literally the most sus shit-talking bullshit person that, like, knows, yeah. Other than that.
That's very rude.
Well, what do you have not to believe?
Well, no, because he was like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know. Can I try to suss him out to see if he's actually telling the truth, that he didn't know that the place was fucking empty?
Sure.
I mean, we were
Roll.
told that
Yeah?
we needed to leave, and he's not here. So what do we do?
What do I roll?
You roll insight against his deception.
Okay.
So Nitsu roll deception.
Oh boy, that's a bonus of 9.
18. Okay, no. I'd
Nitsu
buy it.
deceives you.
as much as the whole deceiving things go on, Mariah has a little bit more of the whole press exit out but not say anything about it.
So Kalik just casually signs and trying to keep it as basic as possible again. And there's a ping of pain in his heart as he remembers how easily he was conversing with Henri by the end of their adventures, but keeps it to himself. But signs what to do, or just what do now.
Well, we see the place is empty, right? We know where his office is, so of course I'm gonna beat on the office door.
Again?
Yeah.
Nothing from
I mean,
within.
these people are with me now.
Right. And you hear nothing within it.
Maybe something's happened. Kalik, come over here and help me force this open.
Kalik will eye him strangely and, like, give the door a try.
The knob turns, but as you push, something catches and keeps it from opening.
Okay. Kalik looks at Nitsu and just does the signal of it won't open, or just will not open.
Okay.
Give it a push.
He then signs in a flurry. I'm not breaking into this fucking dude's office, you dumbass.
It
Nitsu
could be
gets,
his dead body you're pushing against for all we know.
Would it be an investigation check to like narrow down what could be stopping the door?
sure.
Because Mariah will be watching you guys struggle, then be staring thoughtfully at that door.
With that 25, you kind of go up and you give the door pushes in different areas, and you you take one of Nitsu's knives, and despite his initial protest, you kind of run it through the seam of the door until it catches on something that's hanging across on the other side. So you pull the knife out and you run it through from the other side, and there's something catching on bottom too, almost as if there's a bar holding the door in place.
Door bar. After that investigation, it's like there's a door bar, no body.
Fair enough. Guess he's not here.
And here's your knife back.
Thanks. Well, I guess... do we make our way north? Or...
Kalik signs, why north?
we're supposed to go get the king, right? In the center of the aisle?
Kalik then signs to him, we were clearing the way. He then
The northern
stops as
keep.
I fucking He then stops as he realizes that probably what he's saying is too complicated, and then simples it down to wait for him, and he assumes that they will realize that he means Salhad.
I suppose, but he did tell us to clear the way to the northern keep. And...
Not the northern keep, the central keep.
Central keep. That's not
Central-
north.
whatever.
You're basically having a slip of what direction they have gone.
I'm terrible with directions in real life. This is just
God,
fucking with
yes.
me with directions that I can't even see on not paper.
I mean, look, who's the one who, like, drove you to a different state by accident?
Matt?
Yeah. I'm not sure he has any room to throw that particular stone in that particular glass house.
I totally do, 'cause-
Basically, Nitsu is basically going, so we were told to go to
Yeah.
the center and clear the
Yeah.
way. Just to brush away from the awkward directions suck.
I mean, I guess I could also point out that he said that he was going to go take the other guy's head, and he might have gone there
Kalik will shrug.
if he wanted to follow his example.
Kalik will
Friend.
shrug. Kalik bristles at the word friend. Fucking heads out.
I guess that's decided then.
That will be shrugs like, I think you're antagonizing him, and then she'll be following Gleek.
So Nitsu was left alone in Salahad's office.
Hey, at least he knows about door bars.
That's true.
I mean, I could. Would it be feasible, you think, to unseat the bar?
You never tried?
I
The
mean,
thing is that Mariah has is that she much rather not dig herself into a hole. Says thanks. So that's why she's leaving. She's not going to stay put.
hmm.
I'm trying to decide what color I want.
I'm
Go
trying to
with, like,
decide if I should be a good boy or not. I guess I'll give it up for now.
Oh, I can also go with red because she does have a red ribbon and a red gemstone set into her sword.
I've gone with a pale sandy yellow for obvious reasons.
Yep. I think I will go.
So Nitsu is
with-
not going to break into Salahad's personal office?
I would never. Salahad's my friend.
Is he?
Salahad is your employer and promise lots of money.
That's what I said, friend. So yeah, I'll make my way after the other two. I suppose I'll scrawl a note saying we're headed that way and then, I don't know, slip it under his office door.
Sure.
That way it gives our attempted break-in a meaning.
Okay. So you guys reconvene out towards the center of town. What now?
Fucking leave! Go the direction of the central keep. Fucking get going.
Okay. So
A strong pulsing need to go find my sisteroo.
your sister?
My sisteroo. It's like daughteroo, but worse.
All right then. In that
I'm being
case,
a little-
you guys leave the town. And Nitsu, you're not as familiar with the topography. And Mariah may be more familiar with the topography than she lets on. But you head north. Due north.
How familiar?
By
How
northwest.
familiar is Khalif with the topography?
And 3 days later of walking, you notice as you travel that the road is far less cluttered with demons. Especially you, Mariah. You notice far fewer demons than there once were. But Kalik has instinctively led you to his sisteroo at a ruined village where at one point demons and humans may have coexisted, may have intermingled.
God?
Demons and humans may have at once been one in this village. But now it is almost empty, except for a bloodied Salahadi Saban sitting on these steps that were at one point Arbek's throne.
Great.
Sophia stands at his side, disheveled but tending to his wounds. When he sees you, his scowl is incomparably malicious. Why
My
have you come
gods, what
here?
happened?
What did he say?
Why have you come here?
He replies, looking for you.
Did I ask you to look for me? I told you to clear the path.
I thought we were I thought we were setting out together.
We'll take care of that later. I steal a potion from Kalik and give it to him.
Kalik, are you just gonna let him?
No.
He's our friend, Kalik. Gotta protect our friend.
Khalif literally hisses at Nitsu.
What's gotten into you?
He ignores him and waits for Salahad's response.
Almighty DM, I request a change of icon for Gladiator.
Oh yeah. I've got that one saved. I'll throw it up when it comes up.
I thought I remind about the icons.
Yeah. No,
But
I've actually already got it uploaded.
Mariah's just more so like watching as this goes on, because well, she's the new person.
Salahad sits there and he stares at Kalik and he says, "I told you to clear the way, not to come with me."
Kalik doesn't say anything, but glares at him and then looks around at the ruins of what he thought was going to be his revenge and walks off.
As you look around the ruins, you see a great multitude of dead half-demons. You do not see
Great.
any sign of Arbecht, any sign of Corvo, or any sign of Leander.
This will upset Kalik even further as he storms to leave.
So for Mariah's context, is Kalik stomping towards what will be the expected direction of the center for the center keep.
He is heading that direction.
That's why I like for context, Mariah is the one that's far more aware of what's of the layout of the land than she's
Yes.
letting on. So yeah, okay. Then Mariah will go and follow Kalik.
What about Nitsu?
Am I getting evil death glares from our dear friend Shalahad?
No.
Salahad.
Not. He wasn't even evil death glaring at Kalik. He was just not pleased to see him here.
Very. He was expecting one thing and he got the opposite.
Yeah.
That's basically the stare.
All right. I guess I'll apologize for this minor breach of conduct. Wish him well and see if I can do anything to help. And by that I mean I'm going to attempt to get Kalik to at least leave one medium potion, like, on the way back. Like, drop it off on the trail.
It doesn't guarantee, though, that Salahad will find the potion. Someone else might find it.
I mean, they're right there. Like, maybe I could persuade Girl to come and persuade Kalik to give him a potion.
Sophia
Did we
firmly
get-
protests that she does not leave Salahad's side. He just lost a fight after all.
Are you actually going to try and convince Kalik? Because if so, you're going to have to roll.
I'll fucking outroll you. Let's do this. What do you want me to roll?
Roll persuasion against a charisma save.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So
Just
what are you?
fucking off myself.
So what are you trying to convince Kalik to do?
Give
Kalik
me a medium potion so I could run it to Shalad.
Kalik sighs and tosses a medium potion.
Then, I go give it to our buddy Shalad.
And he spits some blood on the ground and takes it. Your will for a beast.
I'm flattered. Be seeing you soon, and then I'll trot after the other two.
Alright. So, Guys are headed due east. You've just left the ruins of the Beast Town. And I think that is where we will call it for today.
Awesome. Perfect.